Hello and welcome, dear aspirants. Let's jump straight into today's explainer for Rungta IAS Academy. Today, we're dissecting a really unique and highly relevant case study for your General Studies Paper 3 syllabus, specifically under the Environment and Ecology section. We're looking at a fascinating, real-world conflict unfolding right now in South America. It's exactly the kind of out-of-the-box topic that perfectly tests your analytical skills for the mains exam.
Now think about this classic interview-style paradox. Can a green energy project actually be an environmental threat? Usually, when we think of wind farms and solar grids, we just think, oh, pure environmental benefits, right? But today, we're going to see how even renewable energy infrastructure can literally become a hazard to a completely different kind of conservation.
So, Section 1, the Ocean of Darkness. To really grasp this paradox, we first need to establish our geographical context, because geography, as you all well know, totally dictates human and scientific activity. Take a look at this. This is the Paranal Observatory, operated by the European Southern Observatory in Chile's Atacama Desert. Make sure you note the correct pronunciation for your interview boards: Atacama, Chile, and Paranal. Because of its extreme high altitude and its remarkably dry climate, this desert literally provides humanity with the absolute clearest windows to the universe.
Moving right along to Section 2, Anatomy of Photon Valley. This specific region is so absolutely critical for astronomy that it's earned this nickname, Photon Valley. It's this high-altitude corridor where several of the world's most sophisticated observatories operate side by side, just sharing this incredibly rare, pristine sky.
Now grab your pens and please jot these points down for your mains answers. Why exactly is the Atacama so special? Well, across its massive 105,000 square kilometers, the terrain frequently exceeds 3,000 meters in altitude. It is widely considered the driest place on Earth. According to Chiara Mazzucchelli, the president of the Chilean Astronomical Society, they get more than 300 clear nights a year. That means zero clouds, zero rain. And crucially, it is completely isolated from urban light pollution.
Just look at the sheer financial and scientific investment relying on that perfect darkness. $1.5 billion. That is the price tag for just one of the upcoming projects in this region. It really goes to show that light pollution isn't just some aesthetic issue. It actively threatens massive, global scientific assets.
To put that $1.5 billion into perspective, it's funding the Extremely Large Telescope, or ELT, scheduled for completion by the ESO in 2030. The scale here is just staggering, guys. We're talking 798 mirrors with a light-gathering area of nearly 1,000 square meters. It'll be 20 times more powerful than today's leading telescopes, and an incredible 15 times sharper than the Hubble Space Telescope. And to function, it requires absolute darkness. Which brings us to the core conflict of our explainer today. Section 3, the environmental irony. This is a brilliant, textbook case study of development versus conservation, but with a really unique twist. Last year, this desert essentially became a battleground. An energy firm proposed a huge green power complex just kilometers away from the Paranal Observatory. So on one side, you have this massive push for renewable energy, which is obviously a vital tool against climate change. But on the other side, you have astronomical conservation, preserving the dark skies that are absolutely necessary for global scientific advancement. So we end up with two competing environmental goods clashing directly with one another. The urgency of this clash is captured perfectly by Eduardo Unda Sanzana, the director of the Astronomy Center at the University of Antofagasta. He recalls, 20 years ago, the Atacama Desert was an ocean of darkness. But today, driven by rapid urban sprawl, intense industrial development, mining, and yes, the arrival of wind farms, the landscape has drastically changed. That precious balance is slipping away.
Now, this clash inevitably leads to administrative challenges. And as future civil servants, this is exactly where you must focus your attention. Section 4, Policy Gaps and Governance. How exactly does the state manage this territory?
Well, the crucial issue here is that existing sky preservation laws are simply outdated and unclear. Now, while the specific energy project near Paranal was actually canceled in January following an appeal from scientists, that whole battle exposed a severe regulatory vacuum. The environmental regulations just hadn't anticipated green infrastructure competing with sky preservation. Those laws are finally under review right now. So how do we synthesize all of this for the UPSC examination? Let's move to Section 5, GS3 Syllabus Connections. Because remember, this isn't just about telescopes, it is about holistic environmental impact assessments. And I want to leave you with this really provocative thought, a potential interview trap. Imagine you're sitting before the board and they ask, how should policy balance the urgent need for renewable energy infrastructure with the preservation of dark skies for global scientific observation? You cannot simply choose one over the other. You must advocate for updated zoning laws, modernized environmental impact frameworks, and strategic stakeholder consultation. Take some time to frame your own balanced answer to this dilemma, aspirants. Keep studying hard, and we will see you in the next explainer.